After 5 idyllic days on Lady Musgrave Island, it was time to head back to the coast. On this final episode, we go
back to Pancake Creek for some hiking.
We take a couple of young backpackers on board
and finishing off in Gladstone.
Here we are, we're sailing along from Lady Musgrave into the coast.
Pancake Creek.
Pancake Creek, that's what we're looking for. Jackie's on the helm. We've got about 15 or 16 knots. A close reach. We're doing in... What are we doing?
7.9.
7.9 to 8.9 depending on...
With a 12 knot breeze.
I'll say 12 knots now, we've dropped a little bit in breeze. Just streaming along out the back, beautiful day. Sophie's just finishing up a coffee or water, probably a hot water.
Water's safer, Michael.
It's very expensive to keep here. Hot water. Coastline coming up, a few hills in the distance. We should be there in a couple of hours. There's Jackie sailing along, doing 8 knots in 15, 16 knots of breeze. Heading for the coast, concentrating. How does it feel, Jackie?
I'm trying not to make the crew too bouncy and trying not to get any waves over the boat.
Steering into the troughs. Very nice.
Concentrating on some land that I can only just see.
Which is Pancake Creek. So we've got about 23 miles to go. Doing 8 knots. 3 8s are 24. It's about 3 hours away. Time was 11 o'clock.
Should get us there just after high tide, I think.
So, yeah. High tide's around about 2ish. Should be pretty good. Depends if the wind drops off or picks up, really.
We had time for some lunch before arriving at Pancake Creek in the early afternoon. It was mid-tide, which allowed us to motor it to the main anchorage well into the creek. After 5 days at Lady Musgrave Island, which is only about 2 kilometres around, we felt like we needed to stretch our legs. So once we were nicely anchored, we went on a walk to Aircraft Beach, about a 5-kilometre round trip. We came across this big fellow on the track, and he wasn't going to let us interrupt his day. Next day, we decided to take our morning tea and do the walk to Busted Head Lighthouse and Jenny Lind Creek. The Lark tour from 1770 arrived at the lighthouse at the same time as us, and we were left in no doubt about who had the right of way on the track. As they headed south back to 1770, we turned north to go back up the hill towards the lighthouse and back to the anchorage.
Round the mangroves, so through the rivers, there's a little bit of beach just between the trees and the mangroves.
Unfortunately, that was after we'd come off the rocks and waded through the water and already got our shoes wet. But
On our way back, we met two young hikers who had been walking for about 3 hours and were quite hungry and thirsty. We invited them back to the yacht for lunch, then suggested they also stay for dinner, and then why not sail to Gladstone with us the next day?
and you are?
Valentin. Straight back from France.
Right. And we've got from Cody and from Lisa. And how did we find you two?
Oh, we were lost, dehydrated, hungry. Of our nice crew we've had for the last 3 weeks, and Sophie and I will be back on our own, and it'll be lovely too. Beautiful day. Looks like we've got about 20 knots behind us. Be there in about 2.5, 3 hours.
About 25 knots behind us. There's all the ships. And then we were in Gladstone Marina and our trip was finished. We said our goodbyes to Bill and Sophie and they had their home to themselves once again.
Thanks, guys.
We dropped Cody and Valentine close to their car and then headed home. As we waved goodbye to our slightly unstable 3 weeks.